It is so good to see everyone again. Look at me, 2 weeks in a row. You know I'm doing good, just showing off. Anyway, hope everyone had an amazing weekend. I sure did. I went to a wedding in North Carolina. Shout out to my Aunt Linda Dukes and her beautiful bride. So shout out, wishing the best of luck. Now I want to get right to it. I wanted to talk about cognitive paralysis. I never heard that word until it happened to me. Maybe last year, maybe a couple of years ago, I started noticing that when I would get an assignment, like a writing assignment. I was in graduate school. So I got a writing assignment. I was taking a graduate course. And I would start on Saturday because you know that on Sunday, that paper is due at 11:59 p.m. So I would start on Saturday and I would be like, okay, let me sit down, get all my pencils sharpened, all my pens good. And I would sit there and nothing would come to me. Now, I'm a creative person. I've written for newspapers, I've written articles, I do teaching, I do workshops. I'm a creative being. I like to talk for a living. I love to read. But one of the things I noticed is I would sit there Saturday all day. I would get maybe a paragraph. I would get up and I would say, you know what? I can't focus. Let me clean because sometimes when I'm cleaning or doing something else, it allows me to focus and then go to the next thing. I would clean my house up, come back, still nothing. So now it feels stressful because I wanted to make sure I did a great job, I wanted to get a good grade. I didn't want to do a pass or fail, I wanted to get a good grade for it. Next day, on Sunday, I'll write a little bit, and I kept rewriting, not liking what I wrote. But Sunday afternoon, I'd be panicked because for some reason I was like, I can't think. Things aren't coming to me. Nothing's coming to me. So for me, I didn't know what it was. And I kept saying, it's just weird, I can't access my thoughts. And even when I had a bigger assignments, I would say, oh my God, I can't think, I can't think. And I'm thinking, okay, I know I'm anxious, this means a lot, but I didn't know there was a name for it. And for a lot of people in academics who are students, there was a name for it. And a lot of professionals who have big projects due, deadlines, they'll say, oh my God, I was up all night, I can't think. I don't have anything to show for it. And they're self-critical. Then I feel ashamed because I'm a clinician. I'm known for thinking. I think fast. I usually talk fast. I'm just not talking fast today. I think fast. I talk fast. I create projects really quickly, right? I'm really a creative being. I do yoga, do meditation, I'm a creative being. But when I'm in that place where I can't think, my creativity leaves me. I'm like the shell of who I am. So one of the things I want to say, because some people say, oh, that's brain fog. No. Brain fog happens if I'm up all night and I'm like, okay, I can't think. I'm so tired. My brain is tired. I'm like in a fog. It's like being in a fog and you can see, but you can't see clearly. Brain paralysis is a body's fight flight response. So let's say if I'm a deer, you know how a deer crosses the street and then it sees it's the middle of the road and it sees a car come. It could fight, hit the car with its hooves. It could flight. It could run and jump. But a lot of times it freezes. And we freeze when we don't know what to do. So we just stay in there. It's the freeze response. When there's a shooting and people can't run, they can't fight their assailant, they freeze. Right? It is a survival response. Right? Sometimes it's a trauma response, but it is a survival response. And that's what happens to the brain. But what happens socially is that people see us freeze. They think, okay, they're not committal. They're lazy. They're not really interested. They're not passionate about it. Or they're incompetent. And it's none of that. It's an anxious survival response. It's the freeze response, which shuts down the body, right? And the horrible thing is you get trapped in your body and you have an awareness that I'm not thinking. And for people who are high achieving like me, it's frustrating because you know your potential. But it's hard for you, and I say to clients all the time, it's hard for you to think if your emotional brain is taking over because the emotional brain will stop the executive function part of the brain, right? The cortex, from doing the prefrontal lobe, from doing the thing it's known to do. The prefrontal lobe, things what you're thinking, it organizes things, it's where your personality's at. It helps you be self-aware, self-reflective, right? And creative. But when you're having an emotional experience, the body says, whoa, something big must be happening and we gotta fight for our lives. It won't let you think. It wants you to be in action, and that action could be freezing, right? So think about if there's a going back to my example about a bear or a shooting happening. You're not going to think, oh, I wonder what that sound is. You're going to have the first response, and you're going to start running or you're going to hide out of instinct, right? All animals move out of instinct, out of survival. So you're not making the decision, your brain is making the decision for you. So I want you to really think about that. And this is the biggest thing in women who are menopausal, right? Who have hormonal imbalances. Their body can't tell whether they're really hot because the room is hot or they're having a hot moment. It can't tell whether or not something's making you anxious or you're having a hormonal shift and you're becoming anxious. So all those things happen in the brain. What happens in the body happens in the brain. So if you're neurodivergent, it takes those symptoms and it freezes you, which is why we'll say to people, especially children, give them more time. Why? Because that freeze response has to go off for them to function. Unlike if I'm having a brain fuck, I can go to sleep, wake up, and I'm great. I'm in freeze response, I can go to sleep, and I'm still not thinking because my body's still saying, stay up. A fire is happening, something bad is happening, you're gonna have to survive, but you're in freeze mode, right? It's not until you come out of that you're able to process. So I hope that helps someone. It validates to someone that you are amazing, you're brilliant, and that you are more than people think you are. You haven't lost anything. You just learned something about you. And that in order for you to focus, you gotta learn how to calm yourself down. Take a breath, put water in your face. And there's some other techniques from a clinician who can help navigate that for you. So if you're looking for a clinician, I'm always looking for clients, right? My specialty is helping people with trauma, anxiety disorders, depression, but my specialty also is helping people who are neurodivergent and who are menopausal. So this is my website at CandiceRDickens.com. That's CandiceRDickens.com. And I created this new Facebook community. It's called Neurodivergent Counselor Education Supervisors. And it's open to all educators, all counselors, if you're a psychologist, social workers, any discipline that helps with behavioral health. Please join me. It's free. Just go to Facebook, look under Neurodivergent Counselor Education Supervisors, but it's for everyone. I hope to speak to you soon. Take care, everyone, and be safe. And you're amazing. Don't let anyone else tell you you're not. It's not you, it's your symptom. Bye.